you see what it is. We got the pool, we got the ladies, we got one of the best receivers, one of the best tandems. You know him from the Minnesota Vikings, Adam Thielen in the house. Give it up for Adam Thielen, everybody. Joining us on behalf of Hormel Chili. I do enjoy some good chili. Not in this weather, though. Thank you so much for being with us. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, obviously, Hormel Chili is a little bit better in Minnesota when it's below zero. But
back home, it'll be fine in New York.
Yeah, I mean, you're watching the game in the house, air conditioning.
For sure.
It's great.
I always make chili on Sundays.
Yes.
Football game days.
Got
All right,
to.
Super Bowl. Who you picking?
I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs, but I'm like barely on the side of Kansas City.
Okay, talk to me. Why?
Well, I think both offenses are explosive. I think both offenses are creative and get their weapons the ball and can move the ball and can run the ball. Both teams can do that. So it's a recipe for success. Obviously, that's why they're in the Super Bowl. But I think the defenses as well are good. But I think, Patrick Mahomes, I think, is a difference maker. I think those receivers for Kansas City are a difference maker. How the speed they have is incredible. We played against them this year, and just watching those guys from the sideline was it's pretty impressive. When guys stand out speed-wise in an NFL game, they're fast because everybody else is fast. So.
Yeah.
Legion of Zoom.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, and it'll be a fun game to watch.
So everyone's focusing on the Niners defense because of Mahomes. But the more I look at it, the more I think, it doesn't matter what you do with Mahomes. He's going to put up numbers. I'm looking at, can San Francisco stay with them? And Jimmy G, when he's called upon, has been able to do that, including against New Orleans in a very high-scoring game that got them home field in the regular season. And the more I look at it, the more I think this game might come down to the Kansas City defense having to make a stop. What do you think about what Kansas City has done defensively this year?
Yeah, I think that's why it was so difficult for me to make a decision on who's going to win, just because they're so even, they're so explosive. Like you said, what Jimmy G was able to do against the Saints and a game that was just scoring points and going crazy. We watched that game before we played the Saints, and just it was incredible, just back and forth, scoring. But I think the Chiefs, they can rush the passer. They have it at all levels. They have playmakers. They have guys that can really get after it. So I think that's what makes it tough, because both defenses are really good. They both can rush the passer, and both teams can run the ball, and that's important, especially in a Super Bowl.
Before I even ask you a football question, I just want to make a statement. I have such admiration for you and anybody on your team just for living in Minnesota. I was there a couple of years ago.
He's from Minnesota.
And I just don't understand how I got
This guy's a meteorologist and has the thinnest skin
one of my
alive.
best friends. One of my best friends in the world has got his children. He lives there for the last 20 years. I look at him every day and I say, how could you do this to them? It's minus 30 degrees when I was there a couple of years ago.
I will say, come to Minnesota in the summer.
I'm not coming back. I'll never come back to Minnesota.
It's only 20 below in the summer.
And football question now. I'm sorry.
No, I will say this one second.
Sure.
So my son, we just were in Mexico for 7 days, and my son said he missed home.
Oh, Lord.
He missed the snow.
What is going on? What's going on?
I
What's going to tell me next? You want to live in the North Pole? I mean, what's going on? But let me ask you this question, because you talked about San Francisco, and you went against this team, obviously. When you talk about the speed on Kansas City, is that your way of saying that when you went against San Francisco and that defense, that they may not have the speed to match up with Kansas City?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. And in fact, I think the difficult part is going to be how are they going to get the ball to those speedy guys. They get after the passer so fast. I mean, they have 4 first-rounders on the defensive line, and those guys are serious. Mm-hmm. By the time you're halfway through your route, the quarterback's already getting moved in the pocket, things like that. So it'll be interesting. Obviously, Andy Reid, he knows how to get guys the ball, and he knows how to be creative and get the ball out quickly and avoid the rush. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see the game plan. I'm excited to see a good football game.
Do you trust, as a fan watching, as an opponent watching, do you trust Jimmy G in high-pressure situations?
I do. I trust that offense. I trust the play calling, and I've seen him do it. And I think he said it after the game against the Packers, saying that if they got to run the ball 40 times or if they have to throw the ball 40 times, he doesn't care, and he's going to make it happen. And I do believe that. I think he's a guy that's a gamer. When the game's on the line, he's calm, he's cool, he's collected, and And both those guys, though, I mean, that's the same way with Patrick Mahomes. There's nothing that scares him. He's out there having fun and playing ball just like he was back in the day in the backyard.
What can we expect from the Minnesota Vikings next year? You, Diggs, Kirk Cousins.
Dalvin Cook.
Well,
Damn, got enough weapons on offense.
Dalvin Cook. Man, what can we expect from y'all this year?
Oh, I'm excited. Obviously, you say that every year after the season. You're just excited to get back out there and get back to work. But you said it. I mean, we have weapons. We have the guys to do it. Now we just have to go prove it. We have to go do it. And it's easier said than done. But I'm excited to get back out there, get to work, see what the coaching and the GM and the Minnesota Vikings organization, see what they're going to do in the draft and free agency, and it'll be exciting. But every year you want to get to the Super Bowl, and that's the goal. And hopefully we can make a run.
Certainly,
you guys are fun to watch play.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Enjoy the
Thank
sunshine
you.
before you
Yeah,
get to
for
Minnesota,
sure.
right?
Enjoy the
Then you have all your Hormel chili.
Enjoy this sunshine.
Give it up for Adam, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
When we come back here on First Take, much more to get to from the Clevelander. How much longer will Drew Brees be the man in New Orleans? We will ask his coach in just a few moments. And joining us next is the king of morning talk, Steve Harvey, is in the house at the board. Steve, where are you going? I see your leopard shoes, by the way.
God can.
Just a little bit. That's who I'm going with. That's who I'm going with. Yeah, let's go.
Hey, you know what it is. First Take at the Clevelander, South Beach, Miami. Boy, do our fans travel, showing up and showing out, because we got one of the best with us right now. That is for sure. Welcome back in the 2019 NFL leading rusher. Give it up for Derrick Henry, everybody.
Can't call him the most underrated back in the game anymore.
No question. I like the Miami vibes with the outfit. I feel like we're on the same page here. All right, you're joining us on behalf of the FedEx Aaron Brown NFL Player of the Year Awards. The winners will be announced Saturday. NFL Honors. You are nominated alongside Nick Chubb and Christian McCaffrey. You know, when we talk about what play stands out to me, you know what stands out to me?
What play?
That whole Patriots game when you obliterated New England in Foxborough. On your birthday, carried the team on your back. It was so unreal. But tell us why you think you should win that category.
Like I said earlier, it's ground, so I feel like I did it well on the ground. I feel like it's self-explanatory. So if it's ground player of the year, I think, I should take that home.
No
Come
one
on,
puts in
that's
more
a
work on the
no-brainer.
ground. Yeah, no question. So you picked the Niners at the board. How come you went with San Francisco?
I was watching earlier. I think Ryan explained it best. I think for the 49ers to win, and I think they will win, I think they have a great defense. I think they have a great rushers to rush the quarterback. They rush four. I think they're explosive. I think they're fast off the ball. And I think that they'll give the offensive line problems to get to Patrick Mahomes. And I think they run the ball well. I think Kyle Shanahan does a great job with scheming, plays for the running backs. They do running back by committee, and they do a great job. I think watching them against the Saints, I think that's what did it for me. I think they run the ball very well. And if you can run the ball in the playoffs against the Chiefs defense, I think that they'll be victorious. But I got the 49ers winning.
You guys were on a run in the playoffs this year that looked like a team of destiny to me. Usually those teams play defense, they have a great ground attack, and they have a quarterback who makes enough clutch plays. And you beat New England, and you beat Houston, and you wind up against a Kansas City team not known for the run defense, and they come back on you to win. And Stephen A. and we're joking, but it's not even a joke. Before that game, if you can keep Derrick Henry to 150 yards. Literally, that's stopping you to keep you to 150 yards. But you didn't put up those kind of numbers against that defense. How do you, so Mostert was running wild, right? Scoring all those touchdowns.
Yeah.
But if they can stop Derrick Henry, can't they stop another team's running game?
Well, I think, well, credit to them because they did a great job. And I think the biggest thing with the Chiefs is that offense. If they get steam rolling, they get ahead, it's hard for you to catch up. So whenever you're behind, it's hard for you to run the ball. You got to pass the ball if you're trailing behind like we were. I think it was we were trailing behind 12 or 11 points. So you got to throw the ball. Anytime they got the ball in their hands, their offense, they can score in 3 or 4 plays. But I feel like the